Hey guys, welcome back into the record room. And on this week's episode, I thought I'd talk about something that some of you out there may think that I'm against, but it's something I'm actually all for, and that is gimmick vinyl. Now, the reason I say that some of you may not be, may think I'm against that is because I am a black vinyl purist. I enjoy black vinyl. To me, it just sounds the best, you know? Colored vinyl's cool and all this effect vinyl, it looks awesome, it really does. But when it comes down to actually listening to a record, I will go for black vinyl every time. That's just me. I don't consider myself to be an audiophile. I just consider myself as somebody who enjoys music and wants to hear it in the best way possible. That's basically it. But I am a fan of gimmick vinyl. I do think the format is a pretty cool thing to do. The fact that you're able to take something that, you know, should just be a 12-inch or a 7-inch or a 10-inch black piece of wax and make it into something different. I think that's pretty interesting. And today I've pulled out some that I'm a big fan of. And these are not records that I listen to for audio quality. I have other versions, but these are just records that I love and love the gimmick that they've been included in or on. And one of the first records I ever purchased, or one of the first gimmick vinyl records I ever purchased, was the Green Jelly single for Three Little Pigs. Now, I'm sure some of you out there may be like, what is Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs? Green Jelly were kind of a gimmick band in themselves. They were a real band with real musicians. In fact, I believe Maynard from Tool was a backing singer on this song, or at least at some point with the group. But this came out in 1992, 93, something like that. So I would have been about 13, 14 years old when this one came out. And I love this. This is essentially the nursery rhyme Three Little Pigs, but set to a heavy metal track. And what's cool about this, I don't know if you can see it there, but limited edition pig colored vinyl. And as you can imagine, it's on pink vinyl, but it's kind of like a pink marble, which I don't know if that's probably not showing through on the camera, but yeah, when you look at it through a light, it's actually kind of like a pinky smoke vinyl. But it looks really cool, and it works with the song, you know, Three Little Pigs. Let's put it on pig colored vinyl. I mean, you cannot go wrong with that. That to me just makes sense. So 7 inches or 12 inches, whatever, on colored vinyl, it's a really cool thing. But what about a 7-inch that has an effect, something you don't see all the time? In Death Waltz, for Record Store Day a few years ago, well, actually no, this is probably closer to like 12, 13 years ago, released a series of 3 7-inches with famous movie or famous TV themes. And each one had its own gimmick. The Star Trek one came on like black with a Starfield vinyl effect on it. So it looks like it's in outer space, and the flip on this is the theme from Lost in Space. And again, it just looks really cool and works with the title. Love this. How does it sound? It doesn't sound amazing, but it sounds fine. It does sound fine. Next up, we've got Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Now on this one, this is something that can happen when you are pressing a gimmick record. Sometimes the gimmick doesn't take full effect. So as you can see here, if I do that, this looks like a plain black vinyl 7-inch, but no, it's actually a black and white merge. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of white vinyl on my Alfred Hitchcock, but on the flip, which is the theme from the Munsters, you can see the effect they were going for there. So it's a black and white vinyl merge, and this one sounds amazing, actually. Sounds really, really good. And then the third single they released was the theme for The Twilight Zone and The Outer Limits. And this one's very cool. This one is a split vinyl 7-inch. So essentially taking 2 pieces of vinyl and mashing them together and then putting it through the press. So you get 2 different colors there. But again, a very cool thing to look at, you know? And I know black vinyl on a turntable, kind of dull. Doesn't look that interesting, but you know, a gimmick record or a multicolor or an effect looks cool. It does, and it looks great on Instagram as well. So there you go. That was a few records there. We had some colored vinyl. We had some effect vinyl. And what I have now is, this isn't vinyl at all, but it's still pretty cool. This is a Flexi disc 7-inch, and these were all the rage for many years with teens, because you would get these on the front of magazine covers or, you know, mailaways, things like that, because you could actually post these because it's flimsy. It's not a solid thing. So the way you would play a Flexi disc is you would put a standard record on the turntable and then put the Flexi disc on top. And then this is cut into a very thin layer of plastic. And so this one here, this is a Flexi disc of the Putrid Marsh single, Ruler of a Green Hellscape, which I actually put this record out myself. This is out through my label In His Name Records, and yes, this one is available now. You can check it out on the In His Name website. I will leave a link down below. But as you can see, it's a wibbly wobbly. But it sounds pretty good, you know. The process of making these kinds of records or these kinds of gimmicks have come a long way, and this one doesn't sound bad at all. And you know, I made this one with an insert, so there was like a cover to it, but a lot of times you find something like this literally stuck to the front cover of a magazine. And when you're a kid and you go into a newsagent or I don't know what you call them in America, maybe newsagents as well, you would see these attached to magazines, like pop magazines, smash hits and things like that. And it was a great way to get, you know, new singles, or, you know, a new band was releasing something. I believe I have a Flexi disc of the band Reef as well, that were big in the 90s in the UK, that came free with a copy of Kerrang magazine or something like that. So Flexi discs were fun. They are fun. I do enjoy them. I don't listen to them a ton. I only have a few myself, but it's a great piece of gimmick vinyl, or gimmick plasticky, whatever you want to call it. You know, you can put grooves on many things. You can put them on postcards. I see them on x-ray plates, all sorts of different things. I don't have any of those, but they are fun. They are just, you know, it's a fun way to, I don't know, have fun with the format, essentially. So there we go, Flexi disc there. We've had a Flexi disc, some colored vinyl, some effect vinyl, and now what about some shaped vinyl? I loved me some shaped vinyl. And this one's cool because this is actually a shaped picture disc. And this came out, I believe it was Record Store Day, maybe 2 years ago. And this is from Silver Screen Records, and this is the theme song for The Devil Rides Out. Which, you know, let's be honest. If you're going to do the theme from The Devil Rides Out, you want it to be on a pentagram on a picture disc, because how cool does this look? It's absolutely fantastic. And I could have shown you different picture discs. I have many picture discs. I'm a big advocate for picture discs. I have shown picture discs many times on this very channel, but this one was just too good not to show. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture disc. And essentially what this is, it's basically a 7-inch cut from a 12-inch piece of vinyl. So if you were to go around the outside, it would be around the size of a 12-inch disc, but the actual content of the record is a 7-inch, and that's how you can get shaped picture discs. You don't see many shaped 12 inches because they would be oversized. I'll just put that one back there. And what I'm going to show you next is very, very cool. This is something I've never actually seen before. And I was very lucky with this, because I was actually gifted a test press of the Devil Rides Out 7-inch. And ordinarily a test press would just be like, it would look like a 7, you know, it wouldn't have the gimmick. The 7 inches that I've come across, or 7-inch test presses that I've come across, or the picture disc, the shaped picture discs have just been regular picture discs. They haven't had the actual shape cut into the test press, but this one actually does. So what this is right here, this is the actual test press for the Devil Rides Out 7-inch. And as you can see, it's in the shape of the pentagram. So that's very cool. Let me get them both together so you can see. And that's a big thank you to the guys at Silver Screen. They were kind enough to send this one my way because they know I am a big fan. But there you go. That's the two of them together. Test press, this one. And I have never seen another one of these. I'm sure there are shaped test presses around. I'm sure there are. But I mean, for my money, it does not get much cooler than this. I know I'm a total nerd with this stuff, but come on now, it's so cool. I have two pentagram I have two pentagram records. How much cooler than that does it get? And now I'm thinking about it. Now I'm thinking, right, okay, well, what else? Can I show you a 12-inch picture disc? Do I have a 12-inch picture disc here? And I do actually. I have the perfect one to show you. I'm going to grab off the shelf here. And this is a copy of the They Live reissue that came out through Death Waltz. And I didn't plan to actually have this in the episode, so this has worked out really well. But this is what a 12-inch picture disc looks like. And, you know, if the message is lost on you, there you go. And it being They Live, it has the test pattern on the B-side as well. But this is such a cool idea, such a great way to use the format, use the gimmick of picture disc, Gimmick vinyl, to work with the title They Live. You know, it's all about the subliminal messaging, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, it does not get much better than that for my 2 cents. So that's a 12-inch picture disc. I've shown you a 7-inch picture disc. Do I have a 10-inch picture disc? Do I have a 10-inch picture disc? Let's have a look, because my 10 inches just happen to be here. So let's have a look here. Have I got any 10-inch picture discs? Well, let's see. I've got some 10-inch test presses. I've got some 10-inch colored vinyl. I've got... what have I got here? Let's see. I have some interesting stuff. Oh, I've got some more picture disc 10 inches. So a standard picture disc 10-inch will just look like this. This is a record I worked on in 2020. This is a 10-inch of the Fraggle Rock Rock On, which was released by Lakeshore Records, that came out for Record Store Day. Do I have any regular picture disc 10 inches? Now, this is the question. I would have said yes to that question, but now I'm looking through and I actually can't find one. Lots of coloured vinyl 10 inches, but can I find a picture disc 10 inch? Well, my friends, no, I cannot. I cannot. Lots of coloured vinyl. Another shaped 7-inch. Well, yeah, it's a 7-inch, well, 7-inch, 10-inch. This time for the band Him. Like I say, I am a big fan of this stuff. So there are lots of them hanging around. I can find lots of coloured vinyl, but an actual 10-inch picture disc. Well, I should have one for the Fraggle Rock single, but I cannot find it for the life of me. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you one of my favourite 10 inches on coloured vinyl. This was actually released by Silver Screen as well. This came out on Record Store Day 2019, and this is the 10-inch of the Stone Tape, which is a great occult TV special. I don't know if it was a movie or a TV special, when it's Desmond Briscoe and the BBC Radiophonic Workshop. But the colour on this thing, Jiminy Cricket. If you have sunglasses, now might be the time to put them on. Bam! Look at that. This is just, you know, I think if I ever need to, you know, get some more lighting in here, I'll just put some copies of the Stone Tape up. Sounds good, looks great, looks absolutely fantastic. I love the colour on this thing. It really does pop off the shelves. So what have we seen so far? We've seen quite a lot. We've seen some shaped 10 inches. We've seen some 10-inch picture discs. We've seen some 7-inch coloured vinyl. We've seen some 7-inch effect vinyl. But one of my favourite things you can do with a record is put liquid inside it. Now, if you watched our episode on the most expensive soundtracks in the record room, you'll know that I had the Friday the 13th blood-filled vinyl. Well, filling blood in a record is not an exclusive thing. Lots of people have done it. In fact, Tiger Lab Vinyl did it with their release of Vampire Hunter D. This is the Count. This is the blood of Count Magnus Lee vinyl variant, and this again is a liquid filled record, and this one the blood flows a little bit more freely than the version that was released through Waxwork, or the version as in Friday the 13th. But as you can see here, this one is quite disgusting. Lots and lots of blood. Lots of blood flying around your turntable, which yeah, who doesn't love this? But yeah, putting liquid inside a record, who'd have thunk it? But this is something that Chris over at Romanus Records has been doing for a while, making these filled discs. They are absolutely fantastic, and what he does is just, it's art. For me, it's art. It's something that you don't see all the time. I know he just did a an Alice in Chains Jar of Flies filled disc with dead flies in it. I don't have a copy. I don't know how many there were. I don't think there were many. But boy howdy, I would I love to have a record filled with dead flies? Potentially. Potentially. I wonder what the smell would be like. But yeah, filling records is something that I'm a big fan of. I do enjoy me a filled record. But when it comes to Gimmick vinyl, there is one record. It's the only one I have, I believe. Yeah, I think it is the only one I have. And I know it's been done plenty of times before. There are other things. I have a garbage 7-inch that has, it has double cut grooves. So you can play the same side of a record and get two different songs, which is very cool. Cuts down on the sound quality, but it is a very cool thing to do. But back in the 90s, when Prince was being very Prince-like, he essentially changed his name to Assemble, which everybody knows, but then he released a record under the name of the NPG, which was the New Power Generation, the band he was using at the time. And then, of course, this is Prince is in the New Power Generation, but it was a way for him to release music outside of Warner Brothers. This is on MPG Records. And what's cool about this is the 12-inch single Get Wild, which was the debut of the New Power Generation, at least it was here in the UK. But what's cool about this one, and I will actually show this one playing. I won't play you any of the music because I'll get struck for copyright. But if you can see here, it says play inside out. And you're thinking to yourself, play inside out, what does that mean? Well, what it actually means is you start the record at the end and the arm travels to the outside, which is something I have not seen very often. Essentially, what you get here are reverse grooves. And when you actually look at the record, you can see that the grooves are cut differently. And it's something I haven't seen done very often. It's probably a very painstaking process to make something like this. But for me, when it comes to Gimmick vinyl, playing a record from the inside out, that has got to be the be-all and end-all. So I'll show you a little clip of this as we end this episode. But thank you for joining me once again back in the record room. If you're not already a subscriber, go on and hit that subscribe button. Do your old pal TG a big favor. Remember to like this episode and let me know what your favorite Gimmick vinyl is in the comments down below.